How you doing, boys and girls? I am privileged enough to host the Dork Side of the Rings episode of All in Edumacation, and my good friend, the Dork Knight, is here. So get ready, buckle your chin straps, and get ready for a history of All in on Dork Side of the Ring. All right, welcome aboard for an education on AEW and the history of All In. How you doing, Danny? It's good to see
Hey,
you.
man, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
Been a
I
while. Been a
I
while.
appreciate you hosting this return episode of Dork Side of the Ring. I
I'm
really
glad to
do.
see it's back.
Yeah.
I've gotten so busy that I really don't have time to do the homework involved for that. But I would love to be a guest on your show when you kick it off for sure.
sh- sure. Yeah. So we're just to give you a little, and the people watching, because I'm seeing some names in here I haven't seen in a while, like
Oh
Socks
yeah,
Bulletins. Good to
oh
see
yeah.
you. I've got low spec Linux laptop.
Right, the penguin
Um,
is in the house. Yes,
yeah, we got
mom's here.
yeah, Anthony Mark. So
Yeah, Anthony
thank you guys
Mark's here.
for joining us live.
Hmm.
So I do Wednesdays and Thursdays. I do a little show called Nerd Fights. Right now on Wednesdays we're reviewing Ahsoka on a weekly basis, and on Thursdays we are doing our reviews of my first watch of the Battlestar Galactica reboot from
Great
2004.
show. Watched it from
It's
beginning to end. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm still watching it when we do our live watch-alongs that you can watch at supportsalty.com
Hmm.
because it's on his Patreon. But that's where we do a watch-along because we can't do that on YouTube,
Right.
and kind of do commentary over it, and then the following week we review that episode. So
Yeah.
it's been really cool because I never saw it, and they have, so they get a lot of fun out of my
Out of
reaction.
your reactions to it, because
Yeah,
dude, yeah, the whole thing with the Galactica being analog, just so computers couldn't infect the ship. I mean,
yeah,
what a great take. I mean, most
yeah.
reboots suck. This one's fantastic. It's really
No,
good.
really, really is.
Hmm.
And speaking of that show, and I think this would be a good segue into our first kind of topics today.
Mm.
Unfortunately, during that show, as when I found out about Wyndham Rotunda, most of you probably know him as the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, um, and so I figure we should talk about that for a little bit first. And of course, Terry Funk. We
For
lost two great
sure.
wrestlers this week.
Yeah, I was on live too with my brother. I'm not going to show that reaction. You can go watch that video yourselves, guys. John Doss Wolfen from Pop Culture Minefield was nice enough to let me know during the show last night that Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, died at the age of 36, boys and girls. And reports right now, nothing's confirmed, but people in the know around him, it sounds like he had a heart condition due to COVID. That's
Yeah,
what he's been battling. This illness that we've been hearing about. That apparently is what it is. And he had a heart attack yesterday, and he's gone home, guys.
yeah, and
It's a sad thing.
it,
Me personally, I am a huge fan of this guy. It's a huge blow to me as a
yeah,
wrestling fan.
you kept talking about how much you were looking forward to his
Oh
return and everything like that. And
yeah,
back when we were
what the
doing
next
the
step was going to
show,
be for him, because every time he
uh,
came back, he had something new. He had,
yeah,
and he was one of the few guys that Vince let off the leash occasionally. You know what I
yeah,
mean? He let him off the leash, and it's so great when you see a guy that's that creative and
Yeah.
able to do that,
It
man.
really is a huge blow. I choke like this. So I'm in this Discord wrestling group, and
Mhm,
and that's how I found out. I mean, I guess the second Triple H tweeted it, I got a
mhm.
message on my phone, and I kind of let everybody else know. But then other people who were joining late kept bringing it up, and I kind of for a few minutes, like I had to, kind of choked up a
Compose
little
yourself,
bit.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
a
was
bummer,
shocked.
especially
I
especially
I
because I was roughly the same age when I had my heart attack. But as you pointed out when we talked about it earlier, I was
Yeah,
grossly out
you
of
weren't in
shape then.
shape. This guy
Yeah,
is. I
yeah.
mean, it's
So,
if what there's now, I'm telling you guys, I don't know this for sure, but this is what's in the wind. I've seen a couple of things about it. So, yeah, Joe and Dork. That's right.
hey, Lord
We're
God,
together again. Yep.
yes.
But
Um, yeah, and then of
yeah,
course earlier in the week we lost another legend in the form of Terry Funk. I don't know if
yes,
you
we
wanted to.
did. We did and two icons, man. This guy, now this guy, not so much in the WWE though. This guy really made his bones in NWA and the
and
territories and
and over
stuff.
in Japan with the death
Yes, big time,
matches.
man, big
Yeah,
time. He died at the age of 79. He had a full life. Now for wrestlers
the
of
pro
his era,
wrestler. Yeah,
yeah, most of them die young, and he had a long life. So
especially if you guys like Nick Gage or any kind of crazy death match stuff like that. This guy was doing it
he
before,
was
like,
the innovator. He really
yeah,
was.
and
You see,
yeah,
hang on, let me bring that back up. You see, he's got his branding iron. Somebody gonna get
yeah,
branded during the match, boy.
yeah,
I remember as a kid watching him and Ric Flair go at it, and this is back in the regional days. Now, guys, when the NWA title, the 10 pounds of gold, it was the WWE belt wasn't around yet. This was the biggest belt in wrestling. That's why it's still got so much history and lore to it to this day. Ariel Ballet's in. She says hi
hey,
to John
Ariel,
Danny.
hey,
It's good to see you. Woo! That's right. You know who let us know it was a tweet from where let me see. I know I've got this guy in here somewhere. Where is he? I know he's there. Hang on a second. Just bear with me a second. I gotta find him.
and
My
Ariel. That's
brother.
nonsense. There was plenty before WWE. I mean,
Yeah, there's a whole lot of wrestling before
yeah,
WWE.
and
Where
uh,
I
a
can't
lot of it
believe.
I was actually educated on by this gentleman right here.
Yeah, the regional stuff. I guess I don't have it. I usually have a clip of Ric Flair doing the woo thing, but
Ariel, I actually we're simulcasting. This is on my channel.
yeah,
So
yeah. Give us both a like, guys.
Yeah,
Bounce
please.
back and forth.
Yeah,
Leave a comment. Get us some activity for sure.
yeah,
But anyway, yeah, this guy he was really known more for his reign. He had about like a year and 2 months reign as the NWA champion,
yeah,
and
yeah. And I
some of
know
the
you
bouts
didn't
between him
watch.
and Ric Flair, man. Woof,
Yeah, I know you
pretty
didn't
good stuff.
watch the Attitude Era, but
No,
those of us who did know him as Chainsaw Charlie,
yeah.
and he teamed with Mankind a lot. Mick
Hmm.
Foley.
I saw
Um,
some of those pictures this week
yeah,
when he died. They were showing some of that stuff, a lot of the stuff from Raw and things like that. Yeah, pretty cool stuff, man. He will be missed. He had a full life, but man, I mean, the stunner was Bray Wyatt, though. Just
God,
out of
no, I know,
nowhere,
man.
man.
Yeah,
Out of
yeah.
nowhere.
And they were
Just
just reporting, like the dirt sheets were just reporting a week
he
ago
was
that he
coming
was coming
back.
back. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Cactus Jack.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah. It was
absolutely. Hmm.
totally.
But anyway, um, I'm kind of checked out of wrestling right now because it's getting a little boring again. I'm hoping that All In will bring back my interest. I'm definitely going to watch that one because it's the
Wow.
first one in England in a long time.
Yeah, and I
But
got to get up early. It's 9 a.m. my time.
yeah,
It's the pre-show.
well, the
Yeah,
pre-show starts at 9 your time. The main show
yeah,
starts at 10.
yeah. Well, I
That's
don't want to miss the
Pacific, guys. If you
pre-show.
don't know, he's in Vegas.
Yeah, they've
So,
they've announced two matches for the pre-show. Hook versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry for the FTW title, and then the
mhm.
ROH World Tag Team Champions Aussie Open versus MJF and Adam Cole, baby.
Adam
Boom.
Cole, baby. They're tag teaming. Wow,
Yeah, they're tag teaming on the pre-show, and then
wow.
they are going to fight each other in the main event.
Wow, that's
So
amazing.
it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, Lord Toth, it's actually a good time to get back into it. The only reason why I haven't been watching is I was taking a break because, look, when I was doing the show with Danny, you guys know when you're talking about wrestling, you got to know what you're talking about. You're going to come off sounding like you're an idiot. So I was watching 10 hours worth of wrestling a week.
Yeah.
And then they added Collision right before we stopped doing it on Pop
Yeah.
Culture Minefield, which added
Yeah.
another 2 hours to it. I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is
I'm
killing
really
me.
loving
Yeah.
Collision though. It reminds me of old school wrestling
Yeah,
shows,
and
especially
which
the
is what
opening
CM Punk
promos.
was looking
Yeah.
for. And
Yeah.
the only thing I don't like about it is that one wrestler has that much say in what's going on in that company. But hey, if the
He's
guy's a
one Bill
draw,
Phil. He's one Bill Phil.
he's one
So
Bill Phil. I know,
yeah. But
absolutely.
you know how much I love. In fact, when I was editing this video,
Mm-hmm.
I had to cut out some of my rants. So I do want to say a couple things, guys. So what we're doing is we recorded this show. Nobody's got a crystal
This is
ball.
before we even did a show on Pop Culture Minefield.
This was back in December of last year, almost exactly 8 months. It was because I say the date in the video.
Okay.
And we were saving it for what we're doing today, but we didn't know I was going to have to take a hiatus, and the Dork Side of the Ring would leave Pop Culture Minefield. Like I said, nobody's got a crystal ball, but I do want to say that those of you who've been watching me recently will notice a huge difference in me today and what you've been seeing, especially like Ariel and some of the other people who've been watching me on Nerd Fights. Because I'm pretty manic. You can tell I'm drunk. This was back when I'm still an alcoholic, but I'm not drinking. So this was back when I was actively drinking. I was literally getting drunk on the show. I was going on crazy rants, and I did cut many of. So you'll see a couple like really awkward cuts, and that's because I didn't want to embarrass myself. I mean,
You don't have to explain, Danny.
Yeah,
you don't.
But I talk over Joe a lot in it. But it's fun. It's only about 45 minutes.
It's two friends talking about wrestling. It is, we call it the Edumacation because I was educating him about how AEW came about. He did not know the lore behind it. And he didn't know about the epic show that they're actually using the name of this Sunday in London. It's called All In, and it's from, I want to say 4 years ago, or is it 5 now?
Five now.
Is it 5?
5? Yeah, 5 years.
That was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, 20.
But you'll hear all about it when we start the video here in about a minute. But it was, I have a soft spot for this show right here. He threw it in a can. He kept it because when we were talking initially about doing the show, he got so excited, and we're both big wrestling fans. I know I have been my whole life. He is too. I may turn it off here and there, but dude, always love it. And we enjoyed hanging out with each other, and that's when we decided to do a show together. And he came up with a name and everything, And I feel really privileged that we got that time together.
It was a lot of fun, and
it was.
And I'm looking forward. So we'll be active in the chat during this video, and then at the end of it, we're going to discuss this weekend's show and our predictions and things like that. So we're going to spend another hour and 45 minutes with you folks. So even though the next 45 minutes you're going to watch isn't live, we'll be in the chat still.
We'll be in the chat. We might go to the bathroom here and there, but we'll be reacting. No problem. Okay.
We'll be there talking to you guys,
but,
and we'll be on the other side as well.
You guys kick back, grab your refreshment of choice, and enjoy the education of the Dork Knight on the history of All In.
This is Nikki Victory. Make sure to check out Dork Side of the Ring every Sunday at 11 Pacific.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Dork Side of the Ring. Joe and I have talked about this a lot. I had never seen 2018's All In, which apparently was the birth of AEW. So before we get into the pay-per-view, can you because this isn't an AEW pay-per-view. It's not even a Ring of Honor pay-per-view.
It was billed as an all independent wrestling show.
Okay, yeah. Can you give us a little backstory? But it was
definitely, they definitely used just a quick rundown of the lore. there was a tweet put out when Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks were in Ring of Honor. And there was somebody asked Dave Metzler on Twitch, or no, Twitter, excuse me. I apologize.
Twitter.
On Twitter. Asked him
Keep your
if he
shit
thought
straight.
that, yeah, right. I'm trying to keep it straight, but it's hard for an old man to do that. But he was asked, could Ring of Honor fill a 10,000 seat arena? And he said, no, I don't think so with the current product. No, I don't think they could. And Cody Rhodes said, I'll take that bet in response to the tweet, right? He and Matt and Nick Jackson put their money together and rented an arena, the same one they do all out at all the time now. The one
in
outside
Chicago. Allstate Arena, I think, right?
There you go.
Was it?
I don't know the name of the place. I want to say it's American Airlines Arena or something like that.
I'll look it up.
There's some brand name attached to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a 10,000 seat arena. All they did was they said it's going to be an all independent show. They didn't even tell people what the card was going to be, and they put the tickets on sale in 2018 in February.
Sears
Center. The Sears Center. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
They put the tickets on sale in February of 2018. They sold out in half an hour. That's how bad people wanted to see something different.
So that's what I was going to say. So you think it didn't really have anything to do with Cody Rhodes, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks? It just had
everything to do with Cody Rhodes. It had everything to do with the Young Bucks.
Well, you just said it was something different. Do you think it was more people like
it was people wanted to see something different, and they knew they were going to get something different from those guys. Okay. They knew that Cody and the Young Bucks were behind it, and they had been watching them in WWE or not WWE, Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor.
And it was billed as an all independent wrestling show.
Okay. But you had like the Ring of Honor ring announcer,
the Ring of Honor announcers. I'm sure they borrowed
commentators. Well, you had Excalibur. Was Excalibur a Ring of Honor guy?
I don't think he was. Don't think he was.
So,
Rick Iabani is the voice of Ring of Honor. At least he was. I don't know if he still is. But
when you reckon, so I didn't know anything about this, and I had watched. My buddy Roland, who we've had on the show before, who works at Cosmic Comics, been my friend for like a decade.
Yeah.
He and I, back when I collected comics before my collection was stolen, I'd be at the shop every Wednesday, and then we would talk. And he knew I used to watch wrestling, and he'd bring it up, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm not really into it." And then he started talking about AEW. I was like, "Oh shit!" And then we went to like a show together, and then I started watching it. And I really, and I started getting back. I got the bug,
right?
Again,
and the stuff they were putting out on when they put out Dynamite, and yeah, it was good stuff out the gate. They put some great stuff on. They really did. And I asked you when we talked about doing this show. I asked you. You said you were big into AEW, and I said, "Well, you
asked me if I knew
you watched." You know how it's got started, right?
And
like, yeah, Dynamite. I was like, no, it's way before that, man.
Yeah,
way before that.
Yeah,
hell, they had their first pay-per-view before Dynamite even went on the air.
Yeah, and that's when he told me about this pay-per-view All In. So I just watched this maybe I don't know 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, something like that, for the first time. And it's as of the date of recording, it is December 27th, 2022. So this is a 4.5-year-old pay-per-view that I had never seen before.
And to be clear, this is not an AEW show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is,
but it feels like an AEW show. Like when we go over the card,
it's the birth of AEW. Everybody knows this. That follows a lot of the outside of WWE wrestling. Tony Khan was at this show, and he's a huge wrestling fan, and he got with the Young Bucks and with Cody after the show and said, "Hey, do you want to do this for real?"
Screenshot of him. You've heard of this, right? I'm gonna have to find that screenshot of him at the ECW show when he was a kid, and while you're talking, and put that over the screen while you're talking about him. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go for it, man. But yeah, he's a fan. I mean, if you guys have not seen the video, and I don't think we can show it here. We'd probably get hit for it. But
Yeah.
go look up All In 2018 after post match or post show. Just search for something like that and take a look at that 10-minute video of them talking in the ring afterwards. And Cody Rhodes goes on a rant saying that nobody owns wrestling. We own pro wrestling. And they actually named the name of the first AEW pay-per-view. They say, you want to see this again? Maybe we'll go double or nothing next time. That's what they said right there that night after the match.
And Double or Nothing was
the first
Sin City, baby.
Yes,
here
it was.
in Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't even have. Now look, what
at
is
the
this?
MGM Grand Arena.
Check this out. Check this out. They sell out the MGM Grand Arena, which is how many people? How many can
I don't
go
know.
in there?
Probably like 16,000. I'll look it up. Like,
Okay.
15, 16,000. I'll look it up.
They weren't even on television yet, folks. That's how bad people wanted something different, man. They were selling out shows before they even got a television show.
Which is not okay. Yeah, 16,800, but because of how they cut off the portion for wrestling, like I said, probably 15 to 16,000. So yeah,
and they sold it out, baby.
And they sold it out in 30 minutes. I couldn't even get tickets. I was so pissed. And I have a girl I used to bang that works at MGM, and I hit her. I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyway, and I hit her up, and she was like,
"Just don't say her name. You'll be all right."
I won't. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. There's nothing I can do." Like, she's like, because I guess like it's a thing out here in Vegas. I hate it because it's not against the law here for some reason. Scalpers buy a lot of tickets, and resell them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a major issue.
Bullshit. Yeah,
it's everywhere, man. Yeah.
Well. Bullshit here. Anyway,
but All In is, if you guys have never seen it, it's one of the best wrestling pay-per-views you'll ever see.
Let's we're already 8 minutes into this. Before I tell you what, though, since we got 2 sponsors for today's show, before we get into the first match of the night for All In, which was on September 1st, 2018, let's cut away to our first sponsor, Joe's Atmosphere.
Hey, I'm Joe with Joe's Atmosphere. This year you can look forward to getting some of my merch on the website. You can look forward to a comic book in March, The Privateer, finally coming to the pages of probably Scout Comics. We're not sure where you're going to find it yet. Don't know if we're going to crowdfund it or go with a label, but The Privateer will be out in March. And you can also get pencil sketch portraits. Just hit me up on joesatmosphere.com for all the merchandise and commissions and all that good stuff. Thanks for having me, Dork Knight.
Right on. The first match is some dude I'd never heard of, because again, I'd watched this 4 years after it happened, never even heard of it. Is a guy named Matt Cross, and you can educate me on him if you want, versus somebody I'm very familiar with, MJF, who ended up, spoiler alert, fucking lost this match. Who the hell is Matt Cross, and why did he win?
His ass. Yes, he did.
Yeah, but like, who is okay? So school me, man. Like that's why
I can't school you on Matt Cross. This is the first time I'd seen him, but the guy was huge.
Well, then why the hell did he get the win over the MJF?
You got to remember, MJF was just getting started, man. And
I guess so. How
so? He was wrestling on Major League Wrestling at the time.
He was 21 in this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
He was wrestling on Major League Wrestling, and Jim Cornette was actually an announcer on that promotion at the time too.
Can I say something that blows my mind?
Go.
I don't know his birth date, so I don't know if my son's older or if he's older, but my son and MJF are roughly the exact same age. That blows my mind.
And he's just getting started, man. Just getting started.
Yeah,
that guy's got such a bright future.
Oh, he does. And he's such a great heel and such a great in-ring storyteller. Like I've said it a million times, Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler of all time. And a big part of that is because the man knew how to tell a story inside of the ring. And look, MJF, he's like the perfect heel version of that. He's such a, oh, you can't help but hate him. He's such a slimeball piece of shit. And every move he makes in the ring, every gesture, every like eye movement, every word he said, everything is just like feeding into the story he's telling. He's really, I hate
He's
to admit it,
fantastic.
he's
He
really
is
good.
fantastic. He's the
Yeah.
best heel going today. I don't care what
Yeah,
anybody says.
he really
You might say
is.
Roman. I guess there's an argument there, but
I made the argument that Roman's a babyface because like everywhere he goes, he says, "Acknowledge me." People like he's over. He's over.
yeah, he is. He's completely
he's
over.
fucking over. Like
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. I argue
But-
he's a babyface.
But when it comes to MJF, at the time, he's just getting started, man. And he was part of a faction called the Diamond Dynasty. And
He was. So the thing is like Cross won with a lethal injection and a shooting star press. Did these guys have any previous history? Is this like, and
really
why is
don't
he
know
using
about that one.
why is he using the lethal injection? Was he like
really
a Jay
don't
Lethal?
know about this guy. I wish I
okay.
could tell you something about it.
I
I
thought you
mean,
knew.
all
Okay.
I'm
Well,
seeing
hey,
here,
if you're in the comments and you know, why the hell did Matt Cross use a Jay Lethal move? Is he like a student of Jay Lethal? If you know what, I'll wait a few weeks, and if nobody tells me, but you know, I'm not that lazy. But
Yeah.
I just found it interesting that he used a lethal injection.
they were both wrestling in Major League Wrestling at the time. So,
okay.
If you're looking at the archives of Major League Wrestling, it's probably there.
So Cross was supposed to be the baby face and MJF the heel, or vice versa?
Yeah.
Because
always
when
heel.
MJF first joined AEW, he was Cody Rhodes' best friend, and he was a baby face.
But everybody knew he was a heel, brother.
Well,
Everybody knew.
No, everybody that's seen him,
no.
all you people knew he was a heel.
The uneducated.
Yeah,
know he was a heel.
Wow,
But,
man.
yeah,
Never
I'm just
a chance,
telling you, everybody
never
was
misses
waiting
a chance
for when
to
he
like
was going
hit
to
me in my
backstab him.
kidneys. That's
Everybody,
fine. Whatever.
everybody
You
was
know,
waiting.
after a couple months, I got it, but like I didn't know. Like, see, that's the thing. I
knew at the gate. I was just waiting for him to screw him.
All right, fuck it. All right, let's go to the second match.
But this is the thing.
So-
if you look,
Oh, for those who didn't know,
you have
Matt
not
Cross
wa-
beat
at this point. You
MJF.
hadn't watched it in forever, right? So you don't know what's going on.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. Fuck all. Yeah, I hadn't watched. At that point, the last wrestling I saw, and I don't want to misspeak because I've mentioned this on previous shows. I want to say, I know I watched the Bret Hart WrestleMania with Vince.
Okay.
And then I didn't watch anything after that, which I have since watched, and I regret because apparently Bret Hart won the U.S. title after that, which is fucking nuts. It's like I had no idea. But that was like, and then I didn't watch again until. So Mick Foley came out. I went to a Mick Foley show at South Point. I took my son and my girlfriend at the time, and we got to meet him, and he signed stuff. We got pictures with him. He was super cool. When we came home, she didn't know about the Hell in the Cell match that he talked about a lot. Jerry, the King Lawler, was doing commentary. She fucking fell in love with Jerry Lawler, which I don't know why.
What?
And then she started watching wrestling. Look at it. This was around 2016. And then I quit watching wrestling. So yeah, you guys can probably figure this out. Who knows? Because I can remember it was a Monday Night Raw, and I remember saying this on a show. There was a Monday Night Raw where it was John Cena versus Finn Balor, and John Cena won. And I remember saying, fuck that. He should have put the new guy over. And I was just like, I'm fuck wrestling. And I didn't watch wrestling again. Shit. And for oh god,
Until you picked up AEW.
Until I picked up AEW. Yeah. Until I picked up AEW. Yeah. So yeah.
That's a little low there. Yeah.
Yeah. But this match, I literally texted Joe about while I was watching it. The second match was Christopher Daniels versus the Arrow, Stephen Amell.
That's
and
right.
I texted Joe. I was like, holy shit. I was like, because he was telling me to watch this. And I was like, I texted him. I ought to bring it up. I'll put a screenshot of it. I was like, holy shit, bro. If you could have sold this to me just by telling me Stephen Amell was wrestling.
Well, if you don't know this, Stephen Amell at the time was on a new show called Arrow. Well, not new. This is 4 years ago. It was well into its run. But he had already shown up on SummerSlam before
See,
this.
you were telling me that, but that's why I wasn't watching wrestling, so I had no idea. I had no that's why I was like, this blew my mind.
Yeah, he slapped the shit out of Stardust at at SummerSlam. But
and you think I would know because I watched Arrow and like I was telling
Cody
you
was on that show.
Cody was on that show
They're good friends.
As a drug dealer who sold the drug Stardust.
Right? Exactly.
And the funny thing is when I was watching Arrow, I had no idea that Cody Rhodes, that was a reference to a character he was in WWE.
Yeah, because you weren't watching him, right? Yeah. I'm sure the last time you saw him, he was running with friggin' RKO or something, right?
Yeah.
The Legend Killers.
Like
that. But anyway, and it was, and were you shocked at how well Stephen Amell did in the ring with Chris Daniels? Now,
Chris Daniels, dude. And I was also surprised because usually, sorry to break kayfabe, but wrestling's predetermined. Although they are amazing athletic specimens, but it is predetermined. So I was really surprised that Stephen Amell, Hollywood actor, agreed to like lose. To somebody who's well, first of all, like, no offense, but Christopher Daniels is no spring chicken. Yeah, he's no spring chicken.
No,
so like you figure, I don't know. I was surprised. I really thought.
Well, you got to know the faction he was running with SCU, Southern California.
Yeah, well, SCU was in AEW for like a year,
and they were over at the time, buddy. They were big time over. Okay, a lot of people love those guys.
So was Stephen Amell the heel?
No. What I'm saying is they were a lot more popular. Is what I'm saying.
So like, I don't know. I remember being super excited when the match started, and I texted you. And then when he lost, I was like, "What the fuck, man?" It's like the fucking Arrow. The Arrow doesn't lose.
Arrow doesn't lose.
But it was a good match though, man. He impressed me. So that wasn't his first match. He had
I say the one at SummerSlam really wasn't a match. They went
what year was it?
Minute and a half, and it was in the ring. But I mean, the fight started outside the ring.
Well, what year?
Amell was in the fucking crowd. And
if this was 2018, what year is what you're talking about? Do you know?
I say it was about 2 years before that.
So 2016?
It was the year that Cody left WWE. He left that fall. So I want to say might have been it's either SummerSlam of 16 or 15.
All right.
One of the two.
Yeah, Sunday, August 3rd at SummerSlam 2015.
Yep.
Okay. The next match was actually really good.
It's a fatal four-way between four chicks. And these are four chicks. One of them is the mainstay of the female roster to this day of AEW. That'd be Britt Baker.
Yeah, but the one should be the modern day China. All these wrestling organizations are effing retarded for not having her. She was the World Impact Champion.
The men's championship.
Let me say
the heavyweight champion.
She was the world's heavyweight Impact champion.
Yep. Tessa Blanchard's something else, man. She is.
Dude,
she's
I had the pleasure of meeting her in person.
Yeah.
She is fucking amazing. I don't care what anybody says. People can take shit out of context. Like, I'm so sick of cancel culture. Yeah, bring Tessa Blanchard back. Bring her to WWE.
In gymnasiums now, guys. It's ridiculous.
Treat her like China. She needs to be winning the Intercontinental title, the U.S. title, the World Heavyweight title. Like, dude, she's.
If you guys don't know who we're talking about, you want to get a good flavor for what this girl's all about. One of my favorite matches I've ever seen was her in a loss against Kairi Sane in the first Mae Young Classic in the first round of it.
Yeah.
It was the best match of that whole tournament.
Guys.
And she lost. Madison Rayne was also featured in this match. I've always liked her. A lot of people don't like her, but I've always liked her. She was an Impact for many, many years. And the one that, Tessa, no doubt, she won the match and she's awesome. But the one that impressed me with her character work in the ring was Chelsea Green as the hot mess. This girl
Dude.
had makeup on like she was a bride on one side and this crazy hooker on the other side. And it was great. But the match was awesome. And the reason why I remember Chelsea so much is because if you watched it, you know that she was doing different things with different sides of her body. She was doing heel shit with the hooker side. She was doing nice shit with the.
It's interesting you bring her up because how did the match end?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tessa Blanchard. She did the hammerlock DDT. I believe that's Andrade El Idolo's finishing move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
on
she's been doing
on
a
the
lot
hot
of
mess.
Yes,
and got
on
the
hot
1,
mess,
2, 3.
1, 2,
But you know what was cool?
Sure did.
Afterwards, they all had a good show of sportsmanship. That I
They did.
appreciated. Yeah,
And it was very cool.
Yeah, nobody was a dick. You know,
Nope.
it was like, yeah,
it's very cool.
I always
and
dig
you saw that a lot in this pay-per-view because they were all happy to have the forum to show off their skills.
Yeah,
they really did. It was pretty cool.
So the next match,
Mhm.
I don't care what anybody says. Fucking match of the night.
Yeah, it was.
Like I could have just totally checked out after this one.
And once again, we've said this several times.
night.
We've said this several times about the guy. Sometimes Cody puts other people over to his own detriment. And this is kind of the case for me.
Yeah.
He booked his match halfway through the show. And his match was for probably the most famous heavyweight belt in wrestling other than the WWE Championship.
Testify. No. It's the most. It's got
the 10 pounds of gold, the NWA Championship.
Whoa! Let me tell you something. The real world's champion. Remember that belt? Remember that belt they used to blur out when I was a kid on Saturday morning WWE when Ric Flair would come out with Mr. Perfect and talk shit about Hulk Hogan, who was the real world's champion. He was holding the 10 pounds of gold.
That's it.
And if you guys don't know that story,
is what got me into it. It got me into wrestling. I looked at a magazine with black and white pictures of these guys bleeding all over the place, and it was Ric Flair versus Harley Race for the 10 pounds of gold. I mean, yeah, man.
And you know who's got the last version of that belt up on his wall?
Who's that?
5-time WCW champion, 6-time world champion, multiple-time tag team champion, and 2-time Hall of Famer, Booker T.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He's got the one with the little bit.
Wow.
And I think it was bad whenever it happened where like Hogan wouldn't put Booker over. So Hogan and Jarrett have a match, and Jarrett just lays down, and Hogan puts his foot on him, and it's like 1, 2, 3, and then Hogan cuts the promos like, "This is why WCW is shit," and he's talking to Vince Russo, and then Hogan leaves, and then Vince Russo comes out with the old belt, the old 10 pounds of gold with the bend on it, and he's like, "Hey, the winner of Booker T versus Jeff Jarrett is the champion," and Booker T won, and that was his first WCW championship. Yeah,
that's very.
Dude.
Man,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
If you voted on several promotions, but
if you watch Booker T up Reality Wrestling on YouTube, I get nothing out of this. I just a huge Booker T mark. He when you watch his show and his backdrop like I have, he's got the belt. He's got the belt sitting there.
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
I love the 10 pounds of gold
with the little bend,
But it was a lot of fun. My favorite picture from this from this pay-per-view is the winner, Cody, holding the belt up, all bloodied up.
Shit.
You know,
and
it was awesome.
We just glossed over. This match was amazing. This was
no. I'm just saying that's my favorite image.
It was like almost
show.
I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was like almost 30 minutes, right? It was the match of the night, dude. Like,
I thought it was. And the thing is, a lot of guys probably don't even know the guy he was wrestling. And I love him. I knew him as Magnus in Impact Wrestling. He was the heel champ for a long time in that promotion.
So hold up 1 second. Let me do a little bit of shilling here.
Okay.
If you watched Dork Side of the Rings New Year's Day episode, what was it called? The scandals, the scandalous news stories of 2022.
That's it.
You'll know what he's talking about. But if you haven't, that's fine too, because I didn't know fuck all about this guy either until
He
then.
didn't know about the national treasure. And you'd love him, dude. He has a chick that's over 6 feet tall, muscular blonde named
Why isn't he in
Camille
WWE then?
that he
like-
calls his insurance policy
Sounds
when
like
he comes
China.
to the ring.
Sounds like China.
Look, this is how badass this guy is. You know what music he comes to the ring with?
No.
Have you ever seen the movie The Last of the Mohicans?
Yeah.
You remember the soundtrack in that movie? He comes out to that played on an electric guitar. It's fucking awesome, dude. The national treasure is a bad dude. But yeah, what a match.
It was a great match. And
There's
Cody,
only
of
one other
course.
one that comes close, and I'll mention it when we get there. But
Okay, yeah, but
yes, it was awesome.
Cody, of course, ended up in the Crimson Mask.
Oh yeah. Nobody.
He's-
He blonded
roads, man,
He blonded
all
his
those
hair
roads.
out like his
Yeah.
dad, so that when he
Yeah.
bled, you could
It would
see
just-
it.
Yeah,
You could see
know,
it,
yeah.
and he showed
which
it
is
off
a
in the
huge
match.
difference because like when he was at like WCPW and he fought Kurt Angle. I don't know if you've seen this match. I think I texted it to you.
Mhm.
He had brown hair at the time.
Yeah. Mhm.
And tell you, I the blonde hair is a genius move, especially if you're going to get
It
some
is.
color. You know, if you're going to
Ric
get
Flair
color,
has lived by it.
yeah,
His father lived by it, man.
Yeah.
You kidding me? You get
But,
cut, you look like you've been through hell with blonde
but
hair.
like,
bro.
so I didn't know who was like. It seemed to me, which surprised me, as like watching AEW before this pay-per-view. It seemed like Cody was the face. Is that right? Was Cody the face?
Yes, he was.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Nick Aldis was definitely the heel in this match.
Okay. Well,
Oh,
it was a great fucking match. Easily stole the show. Match of
And
the
the
night.
thing I'm sure you'll appreciate, Nick Aldis is one of those old schoolers that gets a body part and starts destroying it.
Dude, just like Bret Hart, he tells a
Yes.
story in the ring.
Yes.
Dude,
Mhm.
dude, yeah. No, you're
Yeah.
speaking. No, that's what best match of the night, dude. Best match of the night.
It was fantastic.
Next match. So here's the thing. I don't know if I'd have seen this in real time versus when I watched it. Yeah, I already know. Yeah, I know why you're laughing.
Yeah.
And because of my bias, I was hoping Joey Janela would win. And of course, Joey
Janela is a
didn't win.
friggin' porn star wannabe. And
Hey, you
he's
know
not-
what?
yeah.
Well, Adam Page is a fucking empty-headed piece of shit. And
This,
you know what?
I mean,
I'm gonna let you
if there
talk
was a
about this
bad match
match.
on the card, this was it.
Yeah.
And
Which
I'm
is
just
funny
not a
because-
Janela fan. I never
Because
have
if
been.
you go to Wrestle Talk, it's the number 2 match of the night. I don't
Yeah,
believe that
whatever.
shit. Yeah.
Nah,
I
whatever.
almost want to see what Uncle Dave gave it in stars, but I'm not
Right.
going to do that to myself. Just
No,
like,
don't
yeah,
do that.
no, yeah.
Might hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I-
okay,
I-
so are
I
we
didn't
done with
think
this
much
match?
of it
It was a fucking street fight.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And again, maybe if I'd like, and I'll be honest here, maybe if I'd have watched this in real time, I'd have been happy with the match and been cool with it. But
Yeah.
because I went into this match not liking Adam Page at all,
Mhm.
like I think that
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Kind of
Like,
ruins it. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So
But that's okay. We can glaze over that one.
all right, cool.
The next one.
So the next one, we got Jay Lethal.
Jay
What?
Lethal.
I
He
love
may
Jay.
be-
Let me
Oh.
tell you something. Jay Lethal's
dude,
the best.
he was
He
doing the
does the
macho.
Macho Man.
He was
also
doing
does
the macho.
let
It
me
was
tell you
so fucking
something.
great.
jet flying, limousine riding. He does he's like such a great impersonist, and he can wrestle. I love fucking Jay Lethal.
And he was doing macho in this one, and it was
yeah, ooh,
fantastic,
yeah.
man. You know how much I love Macho Man. And dude,
Oh hell yeah, dude! Hold up.
He got up there.
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
the Macho
yeah.
Man. Yeah, the
Show me
pretty-
some respect. R.E.S.P.C.D. right now.
Oh, he's
turn
at the
you into
top.
a
Oh yeah. So he faces off with some guy I'd never heard of before. Sadly,
Flip
to be
Gordon.
honest.
Flip Gordon.
Gordon. Sorry,
he's,
never heard
he's
of him.
another one of these high spot guys. He was in Ring of Honor.
And
And,
this was for the Ring of Honor heavyweight title. And look, here's the thing. Spoiler alert. The guy I never heard of, he obviously lost. So I'm gonna let Joe talk about the ring.
Right, but the thing you don't know is, unless you watch the pre-show, Flip Gordon won his opportunity at this during a Rumble match during one of those
Oh, that's
battle royals.
that's okay. Well, now
Okay,
like fuck it. Like you just made this match worse.
I'm
Really?
just telling you that's how he ended up in this match. Yes.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that jabroni never belonged in the same
He
ring with Jay
didn't. He
Lethal.
need to be in the same ring with Jay
All
Lethal.
right,
We
so
all
let's
know
go to the next one.
this is almost as good as Cody and Nick Aldis. Man.
Yeah, dude, this
Look,
match, it was
I
so
had
good.
never.
This
I've
match
been
was so good, we literally forgot there was a match after this one.
Yeah,
I
no
swear to
shit.
God.
Unbelievable. We've been sitting here looking at this card going, was
Yeah,
there a
we're
match
like,
after that
was
one?
it like we don't
What the
remember
fuck?
that?
But Kenny Omega, the cleaner, who I
So
have
his
been
gimmick during
watching
this
for
period of
years.
time was the cleaner.
I mean,
I thought
I
the cleaner
don't.
was his
That's what I
Japanese
call
gimmick.
him. I've always called him that.
Well,
But
man, he's got like 20 gimmicks.
I
Like,
know he does.
he's the belt collector. He's the cleaner. He's
all I know is this Kenny Omega. Okay,
all right,
the
bro.
guy's a bad motherfucker.
All I know is
if you
going
watch,
into this,
and if you watch New Japan Wrestling.
I don't, man. We talked about this.
Okay,
That's the whole point
I'm
of
not
this
talking to
podcast.
you.
You're
I'm
supposed
talking to the audience. If you
Okay,
watch
sorry.
New Japan Wrestling, you know Kenny Omega. You know he's a great wrestler. And he goes up against, and I had never seen this guy before. Never seen him. And I got to tell you, Pentagon Jr., Penta El Zero, as he was building this match. Pentagon Jr. is got to be the biggest luchador I've ever seen.
Outsero. Mero.
Zero. Miedo. No fear, baby. I mean, this match was so fucking awesome, man. When he hits that muscle buster on people, they shouldn't get up. I mean, it's ridiculous.
This was a great match, and this was another one of those where I wish I'd have saw it in real time because my bias against Kenny Omega, I really wanted
Pentagon to win.
I was, and it was like
Kenny, but I was so impressed with Pentagon.
Like there were so many near falls in this match.
So great.
Like neither man looked like, even though Kenny Omega won, and right now I'm not a fan of Kenny Omega, although in a previous show, right? It wasn't this show, it was a previous show. I gave away he could redeem himself in my eyes.
Yes, he
right?
could. Yes, he could.
But in this match,
never in Jim Cornette's eyes, but in your eyes, yes.
Well, I don't know. I feel like, I said that in the last show. I feel like,
you feel like Jim will come around.
I feel like, well, no, I feel like, I don't know, man.
I'm a fan though. I dig it. I don't like the running buddies he's got right now. But
like, here's the thing. This match made me check my biases at the door. So when we talked earlier about the Hardley boys, I couldn't do it. But this guy, this match,
he's
even
fantastic,
though
man.
it was a fucking, it was so good.
Yeah.
Apparently, you and I both forgot about the match that went after.
Oh, but
versus...
before we get to that, we got to talk about how this match ended after the match.
Oh,
the lights go out in the theater.
Yeah.
And this is where the New Japan tie comes in.
So
guys.
This is, are you talking about Jericho, right?
Yes, absolutely.
This is why, dude, are we like, I don't know, man. I think the internet's all wrong. Was there really an Okada versus Skrull match after this? Because I don't remember.
I thought for sure it was before.
Is this like a
I do remember
effect?
Marty Skrull being there, but I mean, I thought it was before this. But,
yeah. Like,
hey, maybe we're.
I really thought the whole.
Maybe we've both smoked too many left-hand cigarettes in our lifetime. We just blanked it out. Who knows?
All I know is after this Jericho thing you're about to talk about, I thought it went to the main event. Yeah. Maybe I was just so like high on the rush of Jericho. You know what I mean? I have no idea. But go ahead.
What happened was the lights went out. And the announcing team is like, what? They didn't pay their bill? What the hell's going on here? Blah, 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 blah. And then the lights came up, and here's Jericho, got his hands out like, yes, the crowd loves me, blah, 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 blah. And Pentagon, who's on the deck, gets up and starts kicking Kenny Omega's ass, stomps his ass all the way to the corner, starts stomping him in the corner. And I'm watching this going, this guy is not moving like Pentagon.
You know what's funny?
Going on here?
You know what the first thing I said was?
What?
Pentagon doesn't have those tattoos on his arm.
Right? Right? So, anyway, he stomps the shit out of him. and then he gives him the fucking code breaker. And as soon as
Yeah.
he did that, I knew exactly who it was. They had just finished a big feud in New Japan.
I knew who it was.
It was
from the
Jericho. He
tattoos.
pulls the mask off, and it's Jericho. What he was doing, he
Well,
was
I
promoting
talked
his
over you. I'm
cruise,
sorry. You
is what
said
he's
they
doing.
just finished a feud from where?
New Japan. They
What,
had
tell
wrestled
us a little
3
bit about
matches.
that.
3 matches. Jericho won.
They had a trilogy. Who
Jericho,
won the
and
trilogy?
it was Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega.
Kenny won the trilogy.
But this is you know the
So
Painmaker.
so it was
You know the Painmaker's
yeah.
character he came into AEW as.
yeah.
He created that in New Japan, and that's
So
what he wrestled as
he
against
beat
Kenny
Kenny
Omega.
once, and Kenny beat him twice in New Japan.
Yep.
Okay, I can live with that.
Mhm.
I can live
Yep.
with that. I can live with that.
They had a trilogy.
Wow.
Yep. And he did this promoting his cruise. He shortly after that he had the Jericho cruise. And
See,
that's what he was promoting.
Jericho, man.
Yeah.
Consummate
He wrestled Kenny on the cruise.
businessman.
Yeah.
So hey, we got 2 matches left. One of which, literally, both of us forgot about. So
Forgot
you know
about
what?
completely, but
Let's talk about the next match, and then we'll go to the final sponsor of the night.
Okay.
Okada versus Skrull. I honestly don't remember this match at all.
Yeah.
It's like,
I do remember
I did not know this was the. I thought the semi-main event was the one we just talked about.
Okada's a good wrestler. And
Yeah.
Marty Skrull, the villain, was
No,
in
no.
Ring of
Okada's a
Honor.
good wrestler. Didn't he just faced with Moxley not too long ago?
Yep.
But I don't know who this Skrull
The
guy
villain,
is,
man.
and
He
I honestly
comes out
don't
with a plague
remember.
mask on, bro. He comes out with a plague mask on with the big.
I'm gonna have to go back. I honestly don't remember this match.
Dude,
That's terrible.
He's part of the Elite. If you watch Being the Elite, which this
First
is
of
how
all, I don't watch Being the Elite
I
because
know
I
you
hate the
don't.
fucking Harley Boys.
I'm
You know,
just
they're the
telling
worst
you,
thing. Yeah.
he's part of the Bullet Club. Maybe you'll understand
well,
that
maybe,
name.
Maybe that's
Okay.
why it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
Yeah.
Who won that match?
It was Okada.
Okada.
Of course, it was Okada.
As
We're not going to have the
should.
villain win a match. Come on,
As
man.
it should have been. So, hey, before we get into the final match of the evening between Rey Mysterio dressed up as Wolverine, which I will have to edit a picture of in because it's
You've got to.
fucking amazing,
Of course you do.
with Phoenix and Bandito versus Kota Ibushi and the Harley Boys.
Yes.
Let's go into this week's final sponsor, Dork Knight Designs and Marketing.
Did you mean to put us back on
Dork
screen?
Knight Designs and Marketing is a Las Vegas-based internet marketing firm that specializes in website design, logo design, internet marketing of all types, whether it's SEO, social media, content creation, or more.
All right. Last match was they billed themselves as the Golden Elite because, and
Jesus
the reason why they
Christ.
said Golden is because Ibushi's with them. The Golden Lovers is the tag team between Ibushi and Kenny Omega, who's also part of the Elite.
Is that like a New Japan thing?
That's a New
I guess?
Japan thing. That's
right.
where they came up with.
All I
Golden
know
Elite for this match
is
it's Ibushi and
Kota
the
Ibushi
two
could be
guys
the
you
second
can't
coming
stand.
of Christ. He's
Yeah.
with the fucking Harley Boys, who I
Right.
hate.
Yeah.
So I was, and then when Rey Mysterio comes out looking like Wolverine, I don't even know who the other two dudes are, and I'm like, please,
Right.
please win.
Please win.
Even if I check my biases at the door, everybody
Mhm.
knows I hate the Harley Boys. Their win cheapened there. It wasn't like the other match where okay, so we were talking about Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis, where
Yes.
like even though Nick lost and Cody won, they were both elevated. It wasn't
Yes, they
like
were.
it wasn't like the one dude won and it decreased the other's value or stock. It was like they both rose in stock, even though one won and
Yeah,
one lost, because it was
you're
such a
right.
great match. This was like, it felt like the Hardly Boys buried these dudes, you
Right.
know,
It was
and
almost
I
like they
didn't,
were wrestling jobbers, and
yeah,
it
and
shouldn't have been that way. You're right. Mhm.
I didn't dig that, man. And the fucked up thing is like all the websites call this the best match of the night in this pay-per-view, better than the Cody Rhodes one. And I don't understand it. I
Now,
really don't.
the
Oh,
post-match after.
Question of what happens next with this group. We are sticking together.
Oops. I guess that didn't happen for too long.
Because nobody, no man, no
all right. You know what? People can look this shit up. I don't want to get copyright claimed.
I always like pointing it out to folks, especially guys that love AEW, because it's something that I stumbled across, man. Completely stumbled across. I was watching a Wrestling Observer Live video, and they were talking about it, and they were talking about how this thing sold out. And I said, "Well, hell, I'm gonna have to watch this when it comes
See, man,
on."
like I my buddy Roland at the comic book shop. Check out this All Elite Wrestling. You know, so like it's a kind of organic thing, you know.
Yes,
So, yeah.
absolutely. And you know what? It's we've said it several times about the guy, and I could give two shits about the Hardly Boys, but the fact that Cody Rhodes respectfully asked Vince McMahon for his release because he didn't like what creative was doing with him, and you say what you want about Vince McMahon, at least he had enough respect for the man's father to say, "Hey, you go ahead, do your thing." Cody bet on himself and went and made it
Oh
happen.
no, Cody totally bet on himself, but
Mhm.
he totally had some leverage.
Yeah.
He came, no, because like Vince.
Well, you got to remember, his father was working for him at the time. He was teaching kids in NXT how to do promotions.
I get that, but you got to think when Cody was hired this last time, Vince was still in charge. And he let Cody come back and own the rights to Cody Rhodes. He let him come back and own the rights to his music and to his look.
Yep.
Vince never, ever,
no,
ever
you're
fucking
right.
does that.
Yeah, he had some leverage.
Yeah. So like you know what I'm worried about, to be honest with you? I don't think Triple H likes Cody. It's like that's what I'm worried about.
No, I don't think. I think you're reading that all wrong.
I mean, I hope I am, but like I feel like
Paul Beck has respect for the man's father. His dad, Dusty, was teaching kids how to do promos. That was his main job, is how to develop their characters down in NXT.
The American Dream, baby.
That's it. The American Dream. The American Dream, Dr. Rhodes.
Baby. Yeah,
the son of a plumber. You know. The American Dream.
The American Dream, baby.
You got to talk with a lisp when you talk like Dr. Rhodes. Now, don't forget that now.
Dr. Rhodes, baby. Well, hey, let's we got seconds left. Let's wrap up and final thoughts and tell the people where they can find you.
Final thoughts is All In is one of the best pay-per-views you'll ever see, no matter what the promotion is. It's an all independent show, and it was a lot of fun. You could tell the guys that put it on were passionate about wrestling, no doubt. And as far as where to find me, I'm Joe's Atmosphere with an F instead of a PH on every social media out there. So come
right
find
there.
me, especially on YouTube. I need the subscribers.
And you can find me at Dork Knight LV, Twitter, YouTube. Everything Joe said, I 1,000,000% agree with. I mean, well, the last like 2 minutes before he said goodbye, that part, not everything, but like that part.
He enjoyed the pay-per-view. He did. He was texting me the whole time watching it.
Dude, that pay-per-view was so good.
It was.
But you know what? Actually, I would love to challenge people. Okay, watch the pay-per-view and let me and Joe know if the Okada Squirrel match, like if you guys forgot about it too, because I feel like that might be a thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
could
like
be. It could be the Mandela effect. You
It could.
know,
I feel like it might be a
the other
thing.
matches were so good, we just didn't even remember.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in to this special bonus episode of Dork Side of the Ring, where we talked about the birth of AEW All In 2018, which was not an AEW pay-per-view. It was a
Independent pay-per-view, but it was highly produced by Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. There we go. For Joe's Atmosphere, I am the Dork Knight, and this is Dork Side of the Ring. Thank you, everyone.
Take care, folks.
You're muted, brother, but that was a lot of fun to.
Yeah, I
to
muted
watch.
myself because I forgot to do it when I started the video. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a great time, man. That was a great time.
Yeah,
We had
I
doing that one. Yeah,
it's weird. I'm so proud of myself now because I don't know how you remain my friend. I cut out toward the end. I literally, you sat there like one of the cuts. You were like, when I cut back to you, you're like, oh, and that's because I just did like a vulgar rant, like a very bad rant.
well, one of the things that you enjoyed having me around about, and I caught it whenever I would check in on you when had to take a day off, was I reined you in.
Yeah,
That's what I did a lot. But
yeah,
you know, dude, I love you to death, and I hope that your recovery from what you've been doing is on point. I hope you're doing everything you need to do for yourself. I want to see you do nothing but succeed, man. That's why
well, thank you.
I always will be here for you for whatever you need. You just let me know.
I appreciate you, man.
Let's see what's going on in the chat here. We got Stan Lee's a spiteful trekker. I guess he just started a stream. Let's see. We all knew Danny was streaming at this time. They mentioned it on their stream yesterday. See, you said you've been talking about it. Yeah, Lord Toth put some kind of emojis up. Small Time Republic said, you're live, Joe. Yeah, I know, you goon. And Lord Toth says good times. Yeah, it was good times. We hadn't even started the Dork Side of the Ring show yet. And it was just two fans of wrestling bullshitting. It's what it was. So,
yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a great time. It's just that kind of show. That's too much homework for me, man. Now, the one I do on football, that's easy for me because I take that time out of my life. That's part of my sanity, buddy. The kind of thing you need to do for yourself now, this is what I do for myself. I watch my football because I enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's exactly how I am with wrestling. And the reason
that's why I'm good at doing that one. I don't have to do homework. All I have to do is turn on the camera and go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And and like Nikki Victory said, who Joe will tell you guys a little bit about in a minute if you don't know who that is. I am gonna be back Sundays on my YouTube channel doing Dork Side of the Ring. I'll occasionally have guests, but to quote Andrew Pollard over at the What Culture channel, I'll be doing a lot of solo Sundays, but I don't mind because I'll have you guys in the chat to keep me company.
You know what, man? You know what? I'm pulling up Nikki's stuff now.
And it is funny that Joe's clean shaven and he's where I was. And
and now he's got a beard. Right? We've swapped places. Now now you're looking like you got a couple of pounds on you and I'm looking lighter, right?
Yeah.
But hang on one second. Let me make sure the freaking stuff is muted. I've got pictures of what happened over the weekend. It was the 19th. Now, if you follow Dork Side of the Ring, and this is a pretty cool transition show for you, starting your show back up, because this, to me, was a highlight of what we did when we actually got to interview this little girl right here. This little Spitfire that works with my brother. She's one of the vendors for my brother's operation where he works in Texas. And she wrestles in Northern Wrestling Federation is the name of the
It's in Ohio,
organization. And I just I'm going to go ahead and show this. This was the 19th, which I believe was Saturday. I think it was in Columbia.
Yeah,
And
19th Saturday. Yeah.
yeah. And let's just take a look at the end of the championship match by now this girl that she's I think her name is Ella that she's wrestling, and she had the belt for a while, my friend. So let's take a look at how this match ended right here. She went straight Ric Flair on this chick, dude. Check this out. She's going for the belt. It's a pole match. The belt's up there on a pole. She's going to get it. And she says, wait a minute. I'm going to get halfway up there, and this chick's going to get up.
Oh, this is her heel persona, right?
This is next level Nikki.
Next level Nikki.
So she grabs the ankle, and she says, no, I'm going to make sure you can't get me.
Oh. See, it's so funny when we interviewed her. She was so sweet.
Oh,
and said she had a hard time being
can't believe she'd do anything like this.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
but
my
she's
God,
doing it.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He seems to be doing better at the
By the way, this is on YouTube. I'll give you I'll put the link up here in a second in the chat if you guys want to see it. The whole match is on here, and she went up, got the belt because homegirl can't stand up, and there it is. There it is. Nikki gets it. Yes. Yes, and the crowd goes wild. Damn it. Yes.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah.
Let's see. Let me go ahead and pull these up.
I'll have to
fast.
DM her and see if she wants to stop by.
Yeah,
and say
yeah.
hi sometime.
Get
Show
on
off
the
her
show,
belt.
man. She enjoyed hanging out with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and get these up here. Yeah, these are photographs from that night. That's her getting the belt and giving it a kiss. You know what I'm saying? And you got. Let's see. I think I got them all next to each other. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, look at the sourpuss look on her
look
face.
At that. I am the biggest heel in the world, right? Yeah. And then I got to show you the one. I don't think it's in a row there. That's why I'm dropping out. But
that mean-looking lady, that was the giggling girl.
That was the giggling little girl at the beginning of that video, guys. That's the same chick. And here she is again. This is from her Facebook page. You can follow Nikki on. She's known as Nikki Victory or Next Level Nikki. Just search for her. She's on Facebook, YouTube, all of it.
Twitter,
And I will give you a link to the match itself here in just a second. But yeah, we're big fans. We're big fans of this independent wrestler. She's done some work in AEW. I think she wrestled on AEW Dark a couple of times.
Three times is what
three times. Yeah. You should go back. If you didn't see it, you should go back and watch that interview that we did on my side of the ring. It's really good.
It's still on my channel. Mm-hmm. There's some shows I did that I haven't uploaded yet. I mean, I have them all, but we used to be on a different channel, so I'll upload those. But that one is definitely on my channel. So.
Well, there's a copy of it on mine. It's not a very good one because we learned from that experience.
Yes, we did.
You can't play that through a Wi-Fi connection and expect it to be good. You know.
Yeah.
But
so why we had you host the show today.
Yes, that's why we had me do it today because I've got a really good connection. He sent me the video and we played it through there. But yeah, man, we had a ball doing that show. I had to leave it, but dude, you heard. I was planning on putting that comic book out in March, dude. I don't know when I'm gonna put this book out. I'm so fucking busy with other.
I was wondering about that.
I should for it. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I've got two books in the can as far as plotting the pages. I know what's going to go on the pages. I know what each panel is going to look like. It's doing the details that's taken a long time. Of course, I've never done this, so I'll get quicker the more I work on it. But right now, I've done setting a date for it. It's coming, guys. But when I get there, I get there. I'm just not going to sweat it
I get it. I've launched. It just depends on the scope of the project as well. Like, so since then, I've launched at least half a dozen new websites for clients. And I've got one website I've been working on since before we recorded that video because it's so massive, and I'm the only one working on it. It's huge. So sometimes when you do these projects on your own, they take some time. So
yeah, they do. Yeah. Look, now I understand why they have an entire team. They have one guy doing the penciling, one guy doing the inking, one guy doing the lettering. I mean,
You know,
it's me.
the
That's
guy
all
doing
it
the
is,
coloring,
and
different guy
so
doing the cover art,
I'm doing the
Yeah.
entire production. Yep. Let's see. So why did Cody return to WWE? Because, well, I mean, we don't know the inside baseball of it, but basically
To finish the story.
Cody set up a very good organization there. Talked Tony Khan into it, got it going, and then a couple of things happened. One, he did a heel thing to promote somebody else. We mentioned during the video, he will put people over above himself, which he's a selfless wrestler, and sometimes it doesn't benefit him. He did something, I can't remember what it was, Danny, you might remember, but he did something really heelish to somebody and he never recovered from it. People were
Oh
booing
yeah,
him
no,
all of
the
a
guy
sudden.
from the guy from England. I forget his name, but it was the
Okay.
dude from England, from the UK.
Okay.
And
Yeah. I can't
forget
remember
his
exactly
name.
what the incident was, but you know what I'm talking about. As
Yeah,
soon as
yeah,
that happened, the crowd turned on him.
yeah.
And the other thing that happened was this. Khan started collecting guys that WWE didn't want, and they were popular wrestlers. And the biggest coup was CM Punk. It was. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it. And Cody wanted CM Punk money. And Tony said no. And so he went and, like he's done most of his career, he went and negotiated a new deal. And now he's in AEW. He's back in WWE, excuse me. And
He's my favorite
good for
wrestler
him.
there
Good for him. And
right
well,
now.
he's the best baby face in the company now. I mean,
Tell you what, LA
it
Knights
should be
closing in.
Rollins, but they make him look like a clown all the time. So
Yeah.
well,
I think Rollins does that to himself, but
he does do it to himself. I really think at his core, Seth is a troll.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm telling you,
I think he's hung out with Vince too long.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Who's really on the rise? You got to keep your eye on is L.A.
Knight. The guy I first knew as Eli Drake. That's right. From NWA
I've been going back
wrestling.
and watching some of his old clips and stuff on YouTube, like going down the rabbit hole with him because I never saw any of that stuff. And there's this one promo where he's like drinking champagne right out of the bottle, and it's while he's in NWA.
Yeah.
And he's like, he tries to offer some to the guy interviewing him, and the dude's like, "I'm on the job," and he goes, "So am I." Yeah, it just takes a big old chug of it.
Right.
It was hilarious, man.
Look, WWE, they need to push the guy.
Yeah.
Look, it's time for Roman's reign to end. Okay, go ahead and get Cody going. I mean, we talked about it. We were doing Dork Side of the Ring when he lost at WrestleMania to him.
Yeah.
And you were just broken hearted. You didn't even want to talk about it anymore because we were doing a live reaction about it. And he was like, "Man, fuck."
It's
this.
like the air.
I mean, that's basically the way it just took all the air out of everything when that happened. And but it looks like they're gonna make him wait until WrestleMania. I think he's still gonna be the guy. I think he's still gonna be the guy to end that reign. And hopefully it's a good build up. I know this part in the middle has been boring for me. I mean, I didn't even watch SummerSlam, Danny. That's how bad it is.
Oh wow.
I didn't watch it. Was there anything outstanding in it? Because I haven't heard anybody talk about it. Not a big whole lot.
I mean, LA Knight won the Slim Jim Battle Royal. Io Sky.
Yeah, what is that? Put him in the fucking. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, he needs to be the guy to take the U.S. belt off a fucking shitbag. Okay.
Well, Mysterio has it, but
Mysterio has it now. He took it off of whatever that guy's name is
on free TV. But he's getting a rematch. He's getting a rematch, and I think he'll get it back, and then they'll pull the trigger, and LA Knight will get the title. Is what I think. Yeah, the U.S. title. So.
I hope so, man. I really want to see him do well. What look am I giving you, Errol? I'm not giving you a look. But I haven't watched anything, man. Since we quit that show, I haven't watched much of nothing.
Well, and then I can carry the load on the predictions if you haven't been watching AEW either. When we talk about
Yeah,
All In
let's talk about it.
2023.
I mean, I know the characters, so let's talk about it.
All right, so
I can give you my thoughts. Yeah.
yeah, so AEW has sold more actual tickets, 81,400 something
Oh
as of
God,
now, to Wembley Stadium in London. They're
that's
billing
going
it
to be
as,
amazing. That's
yeah,
going to be amazing.
they're billing it as the biggest live wrestling show ever,
Mhm.
because WWE is famous for fudging their numbers.
Yeah.
And so the pre-show, I forget what they call it. Do you know what they call the pre-show? Zero hour.
0 hour is the name of
So
it. Yeah.
they're having 2 matches. Hook is challenging Jack
Jungle
Perry
Boy Jack Perry for
for the
the
FTW title,
F&T, right? Yeah. Mhm.
because he tried to retire it on Collision, but Hook came out, jumped him, beat his ass, and set this match up.
Mhm.
And then I guess the main event of 0 hour is Aussie Open, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, putting their
Mhm.
titles on the line against MJF and Adam Cole, baby.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think Hook's probably going to win because that's his daddy's belt, and
Mhm.
I think Aussie Open's going to retain in those 2.
Mhm.
Do you have any opinions on either of those matches?
Aussie Open, I don't know. How is Ring of Honor doing anyway?
I know they do a show every Thursday night. I couldn't tell you what channel it's on though. It's kind of the same thing with Impact. It's
Well, Impact is on Access. I know where that one is.
You
I
do?
watch
Okay,
that
yeah.
one occasionally. But does Ring of Honor have a show on regular
have a-
television, or
they have a
is it
show on
on
Thursday.
their? They have a membership driven app that you can watch everything
It
on.
is, yeah. It's. I know for sure it's on that, and they do their weekly show on Thursday. I don't know if it's on TV, to be honest with you. I don't want to misspeak.
It may not
is,
be because
yeah.
it was always hard for me to find Ring of Honor stuff.
But
So,
they feature the Ring of Honor people quite a bit on the AEW shows,
mhm.
quite a bit.
Yeah,
which
because he owns both of them now. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
which I guess is a good segue into the next match I want to talk about, which I don't know if I think it will open the card, to be honest with you, because we already know the main event of the show. And I think that that's the CM Punk versus Samoa Joe for the real World Championship.
For his belt, right?
Yeah, that he's calling the real world.
I love it, man. I do. Look, I'm not a fan of this guy, but he knows how to tell a story, and he knows how to get people to watch. I'll give
I'm a
CM
huge
Punk
CM
that.
Punk.
Yeah,
That's why
I
I'm
know
wearing
you
this
are.
shirt.
Yeah,
Huge CM Punk mark.
It with me. It's jealousy. He's married to what I think
AJ
is the
Lee.
hottest chick that's ever wrestled. But anyway, I digress.
So you know what this shirt just when I did that reminded me of, one of the rants I cut out was I basically cut a curse laden tirade on empty-headed Adam Page, calling him
Adam
multiple
Page, good
terrible
Lord, man.
things. And so I was like, I'm not going to include that. So I cut that out. But I think CM Punk's going to win because I think eventually we're going to get.
He's going to keep his belt.
Until
you have
MJF,
another star show up on Collision to really challenge him. I mean, Samoa Joe, I hate to call him what he is. He's a retread, and being retreaded here, there, and everywhere. I love the guy. I saw him wrestle live in Dallas, Texas. I think it was him against Brock Lesnar for the belt, for the only time they had Great Balls of Fire. And we were there in Texas and saw it live. And
nice.
He's an evil dude, man. He's a great heel character.
He is. And I know it'll be a good match, but
it'll be a great match. But I think
CM
they're
Punk
going to keep his belt. Yeah.
Yeah. I think CM Punk's going to keep it until he gets to do what the original plan was, had the brawl out at All Out not happen.
Right. Of course.
Yeah,
You've got to have that eventually.
I think he's going to go against MJF, and MJF is going to unify the titles or
you
whatever.
And Johnny Rock, you should have invited him today, by the way. He's probably busy.
I'll hit him up for Sunday, see if he's, because I know he's got a new schedule, So
he does. But you and Johnny Rock were that's all you said when that first happened. You were like, this is all a work. They're going to make money off this down the road. And if they don't, they're morons. Blah, blah, blah. And and we're inching ever closer to it.
One of the things I cut out was if Tony Khan had half a effing brain cell, he he would make money off this. I cut that little rant out also. But I'm sure you remember me saying
that was a weekly thing. You and friggin' Johnny were all over that, man.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
So another match there. So we both think CM Punk's gonna win.
Yes, CM Punk keeps his belt.
So
yeah, you got to unify the belt, right? You got to have one belt, and it's got to be him versus whoever the champ is at the time.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be MJF, but
I do too.
Me.
Yeah, I do too. So another match that they just set up, so you probably don't know about it, is Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay.
Yeah, Chris Jericho versus Will Ospreay. I heard about that, and let me tell you, that right there, that one match right there may get me to watch this thing because that's going to be fun. That those two, any of the guys that have been wrestled in New Japan and bring it to this promotion, they always put on a banger of a match, dude. They always do. So yeah, that's going to be really good.
Based on the storyline they've set up, I think Ospreay,
which they did rather quickly.
They did,
if I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, they only like 2 weeks of setup, and but I do think that Ospreay is going to win that match. What do you think?
I think that Ospreay. Well, here's the thing about it. If they want him to keep wrestling there, yes, but Ospreay, as far as I know, is still signed with New Japan.
So that's part of the storyline they set up at the contract signing the other night on Wednesday. It's Dynamite. He brought up the fact that his contract is up in 5 months, and if he beats Chris Jericho, Tony Khan will have no way to refuse him a contract in 5 months. So, just the fact that they planted that seed is another reason.
Man. Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Well, with that kind of information, I don't. I can't call it, dude. I'd have to flip a coin. Flip a coin. Because
after how well I did at the last predictions with Johnny Rock, I'm gonna give a solid prediction for every match and see how I do this time as well.
Right.
But you can.
What do you think? What do you think?
Ospreay's going over. I really do think so.
Ospreay goes over.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Jericho's getting to that age where he needs to put him over, but it just depends on if Jericho wants to do a 3-match program with him. You know what I mean? Because if they do more than one, it's got to be 3.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Course.
So
yeah.
And if they're doing that, then Ospreay goes over here for sure to get it started. But I don't know, man. That one's too hard to call right there. There's too many things in play with that one.
I feel you.
Contract and all that stuff.
So the next match.
But it will be a banger of the match. Don't be surprised if it's the match of the night, boys and girls. Don't be surprised.
It'll be a show stealer for
if
sure.
If you haven't seen Will Ospreay, which by now you should have, he's been on Dynamite a few times. But this guy is a phenomenal wrestler. And he's dating the girl that I first said I wanted to see be champ in AEW when they first started out, Bea Priestley. She was one of their first wrestlers, and those two date each other. She wrestles for Stars. She actually left AEW and went to the all women's promotion in Japan.
Okay.
She wrestles for them so she could be closer to him.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So the next match, again, we don't know what order these are going to be in. So it was just set up this week as well.
Yeah, so that's the thing. That's why I'm not really watching, man. Tony Khan is so scatterbrained. The ADD of his just man,
But it does have backstory. We just didn't know the match was going to happen, and so there's kind of been a backdoor build, you could say, and that is the House of Black putting up their trios tag titles against the Acclaimed, and not Daddy Ass, but Badass Billy Gunn. They made a big deal about pointing that out, that he's now, I guess he got his rights to his name back. So he's, check it out. So he's the Badass Billy Gunn now.
Better call somebody.
Yeah. So I think you know, and this is probably just my nostalgia glands kicking in. I think
Mhm.
Billy Gunn and the Acclaimed are going to take the titles. House of Black have had them longer than any other trios tag title holders. So
Yeah, it's time, huh?
yeah,
Time.
that's what I
I,
think.
I I'd be on board with that. Yep.
All right, the next match, and it's kind of funny because they are trying to mirror some stuff from 2018. Now it's the Golden Elite, but not the same lineup as the 2018 Golden Elite. It's
Mhm.
Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, and Hangman Adam Page
Of course.
versus Bullet Club
Look,
Gold.
let's face it. Before you go any further,
Yeah,
Adam Page has got to be carried by somebody. Guy's a fucking moron. But anyway, who are they wrestling? I'm sorry, I cut you off. Go
no
ahead.
worries. Bullet Club Gold, which is Juice Robinson and Jay White, and Takeshita. So
I hate to tell you,
yeah,
the
I mean, we
Golden
already know who's
Elite's
going to win. Yeah, the Elite's going to
Golden
win.
Elite's going to win that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't want him to, but they.
I don't want him to either. I want Kenny Omega on his own by himself. Damn it. Actually, no. I like that tag team too because they were the Golden Lovers in friggin' in New Japan.
Yeah,
Those guys have a rich history in New Japan. Unass Adam Page and wrestle two guys.
yeah.
Give me that. I'll take that. But
Right
no,
on.
we got to stick dumbass cowboy shit in there because we can't. He's our friend. We got to get him in there somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever, dude.
Yeah. So we might as well just
the guy.
stick with the Elite in the match that's going to break my heart, and that is the AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR versus the Young Bucks for the rubber match.
FTR retains.
I hope you're right, but I'm calling the Elite. They're booking it. Dax, or not Dax, Cash Wheeler. He's got really bad legal troubles. I don't know if you've heard.
I have heard he got arrested. What was the arrest for?
Felony aggravated assault with a weapon, or
Dude.
no, not assault. It was something he threatened somebody with a gun.
Good
So not assault.
God,
I forget
man.
what they called it. But it's a felony that carries. You know, if he's convicted, he could go to jail. You know, so
yeah.
You know,
that's a shame. I hate it for him.
Yeah.
So okay. It kind of writes itself because you got to cover the company.
Yeah, unfortunately,
the guy's going to have legal trouble.
Yeah,
but what Sox Bulletin's saying here is absolutely correct. FTR is the best tag team in wrestling right now. I'm not going to say
100%.
ever, but right now they are the best, no doubt.
100% agree with that, Sox.
He got arrested for road rage.
Yeah. He
Damn
pulled a
it.
gun out on a guy over a road rage incident.
Oh, man, shit.
And
that
apparently
sucks.
it happened July 27th, but the company found out when the world did a week ago. 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, right before the fucking show.
Yeah, it was like
great.
He didn't tell anybody. I don't know what he was thinking. He should have tried to cut it off,
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Get that thing taken care of quickly.
Yeah.
No doubt. So what's next?
All right, a gimmick match called the Stadium Stampede. Because it's Wembley Stadium, they got to do the Stadium Stampede.
They got to go through that. Wow, that's a big place to be doing that shit at.
Yeah. So it's gonna be your boy Penta El Cerro Mierdo and Eddie Kingston. Yeah.
Mierdo!
Yeah. Eddie Kingston. And the Best Friends, which is includes Orange Cassidy. So Chuck Taylor, Trent Beretta, and Orange Cassidy.
Right.
So there's going to be those five against the Blackpool Combat Club of John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta. And then guess who made their return to join them?
Oh, no.
Proud and powerful, baby. Santana and Ortiz came back.
Santana and Ortiz.
All
right. That's good. It's good to see them back.
Yes, and I think
imagine what a program of FTR and Santana and Ortiz would look like. That would be a great matchup.
My buddy Burke,
I've been watching them since their days in Impact. Man, they are good.
Yeah.
They are.
My
really
buddy
good.
Burke, who was on our, was the first guest on our show back in the day. So you might, I don't know if you remember him or not, but he's a huge Proud and Powerful fan. Yeah. And he was saying that he would say that all the time. Why aren't they pushing them? Why aren't they fighting the young, the FTR, the Young Bucks? He was so mad they never got the titles.
So he didn't get his visa stuff taken care of. He's not going to be there.
Yeah, they
Oh,
wrote him
sorry.
off TV with the BS
Damn.
angle, but he couldn't get his visas, so that's why it was supposed to be a 6-on-6 match. And
Mhm.
the Blackpool Combat Club were going to have 3 mystery opponents, but because they did the injury angle because of the visa thing, they just got
Mhm.
Proud and Powerful instead. So yeah, I think Blackpool Combat Club and the Proud and Powerful are going to win that match. What do you think?
I think, yeah, that's a good bit, especially with Ray Phoenix not being there. That weakens
Yeah.
the team, man. It really
Yeah.
does. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
All right.
Their comeback, yeah, you really got to throw them a bone, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Next match is we've never seen. Okay, so we've seen casket matches in WWE. But
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong, you or anybody in the chat right now or later in the comment section below, but I don't think they ever did a tag team coffin match or casket
No,
match. So,
I've never seen anything like
yeah,
that.
so
No.
what they're going to have, because they call it a coffin match, but it's a casket match. It's and we don't know how it's supposed to work. Only one of the guys has to go in the casket. Is there going to be 2 caskets? Did both guys got to go into one casket? Like, they haven't really explained it yet. But it's
Mhm.
Darby Allin and Sting versus
Okay.
Swerve Strickland and Christian Cage.
Sting and Darby.
Yeah, that's a kind of a no-brainer.
It's tailor made for them.
That
The other
and
team
last
wouldn't even know
time,
what to do with a casket match.
right? Well, see, I don't know if you remember, or it might have been while you weren't watching, but Christian Cage and Darby Allin have already had their own coffin match.
Really?
Yeah, and Darby won that match.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, it's kind of his shtick. It's like the Undertaker, although
Yeah,
the Undertaker surprisingly
exactly.
lost
Tag
more
team casket
matches.
match? I don't remember when.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah,
yeah,
for
so
sure.
this is a first. We don't know how it's going to work.
Mhm.
Okay, the next one is for the women's world title. The champion Hikaru Shida versus Tony Storm versus Saraya versus Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
MD. I'm pulling for Tony Storm in that one, and it's in London.
Yes.
So I would give her the edge above all of them just because they need a hometown winner in this thing, and that's a
agree with
perfect
you.
spot for it.
However,
However,
I think it's going to be Saraya because she's hometown.
that's
hero
one
as well.
too. She's British too.
So
Yeah.
you're calling
Mhm.
Tony Storm. I'm calling Saraya. on
Yeah,
that.
what? Yeah, I'll stick with Tony Storm. I forgot
right.
completely Soraya's page. Yeah, absolutely.
All
Well,
right.
actually, she's not, because if you've seen the plastic surgery, she's not really Paige anymore.
She doesn't look like herself at
No,
all
she
anymore.
doesn't.
Yeah, it's
Mm-mm.
crazy.
Yep.
Edge
comes out and makes the save for Christian, and they win. Then Edge takes out Swerve Strickland.
Dude,
as it back together. Look,
that's beautiful fantasy booking, but it's not possible.
It's not possible. He's got a 90-day no compete clause. They all do whenever they stop.
Yeah, dude, I would love that. I would love.
We
that
would
so
love
much.
it. And I think you're going to see him in AEW. I think that John so wants to see Edge and Christian back together one more time, and I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think that's going to happen. It's coming.
Yeah.
But it's not this weekend. I don't.
Well, according to Uncle Dave, as Jim Corney likes to call him,
Yeah.
The Edge basically did like a bidding war, and WWE wasn't willing to pay what AEW is willing to pay. So Edge is done with the WWE. So if Dave Meltzer's got a pretty decent track record, so that's probably going to happen. Just not at all in, unfortunately.
If it depends. We might see him come back this weekend if WWE lets him do it. We really don't know what's going to go on behind the scenes. But usually when they're done with their contracts, there's a 90-day no compete. There's not many of them that don't have it, so I wouldn't expect it. But hey, it would blow the roof off that place if it happened, man. No doubt.
And if it had a roof, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
They just gave the belt to Sheeta to take it off of Sheeta. Yeah, for sure.
I think so. I do think Saraya is going to win. I really do.
It's going to be one of the British girls for sure.
Yeah.
This is the spot to give a Brit a win. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. All right. And that takes us to the main event.
Uh-oh.
MJF versus Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship. This is, I don't know. I just don't know right now. I'm gonna make
I think
a
you
pick.
really can't make a prediction till you see that tag team match.
I know.
I can't believe they're having a tag team match with these two
Yeah.
before the. Okay, just thinking about both their histories, they're both excellent heels. Right now, they're both baby faces, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
It's the love society between the two of them, right?
Yeah, it's the bromance of the summer.
I've got to say that MJF's the bigger heel. He's gonna fuck him over. He's gonna straight fuck him over. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's during the tag match to get him hurt during it so he can win later. Just saying.
Damn, man. No, okay. No, I'm stealing it. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's my prediction. MJF is going to turn on him during the tag match.
That's
and
it.
He's going to win and retain in the main event.
There you go. That's it.
Okay.
He's and he's going to win like he always done. He's going to cheat. He's going to use the ring, the belt, something. He's going to whack him with something when the ref gets knocked out. It's going to be but it'll be fun to see because that's another one. I would say the two matches that have a chance of really blowing everybody away is, and we're talking the singles matches now. I mean, there very well could be any of those ones. The Stampede match, I don't think that'll be the match of the night, but then they're
hard to follow, so the crowd might be a little stale on it, especially in such a big stadium.
Tag team match is going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but this one has a chance because Adam Cole is just fantastic. The only thing against him is his size. He is a great fucking wrestler. He can do it all. And MJF, dude, I think we're looking at the modern day Ric Flair. I really do.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Plus, you've also got the story of MJF lost the very first match of All In 2018. And, and he's gonna win the very last match of All In 2023.
Right.
There's a nice symmetry.
5 years
there.
later.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen.
I think MJF keeps the belt. I think he does.
Yeah, agreed.
Yep. I think the hometown victory is going to be one of those women in the ladies match. Yeah.
Well, amazing. We're actually ahead of time. Amazing what happens when you're sober. Hey, Danny.
It's amazing, isn't it?
So unless you want to.
But when it comes to wrestling, you're never out of material. You can talk about all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But, what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to ask you if there was anything else, because that pretty much concludes the whole. There's
that's the history
on the main.
All In. I tell you, all I've got to, and Das Wolfen is saying MJF.
Yeah.
Ariel says, would be like Bulldog beating Intercontinental belt and Bret Hart. Okay.
Yeah. No, when Bret lost the title at Wembley Stadium to Bulldog. Yeah, and that's why I think it's going to be Sarray, because they've already planted seeds because they talk about how her family's going to be there. They live about an hour
they're going to be there
from Wembley Stadium. And
I just showed Fighting with My Family to the clients here just recently, and they all loved it. They thought it was
a great
good
movie.
It
was
a good movie.
Although,
go ahead.
After seeing AJ Lee in heels, I don't understand why she didn't play herself in that movie.
Yeah, right. They had Zelina Vega do it.
Zelina Vega, yeah.
But you know what? After watching that movie again, she did a great job playing her. The only thing is they didn't dress her like her, but she did a great job doing it. She really did.
I know you said in the chat earlier when the video was on that you're not watching heels yet, but AJ Lee's character dresses just like AJ Lee did in wrestling, like with the Converse boots, to tie up boots or whatever.
Crazy chick, the Chuck Taylors, bro. That's
what
they are.
Yeah.
Chuck Taylors. You couldn't wear my Chuck Taylors. That's what she told everybody. You couldn't lace up my Chuck Taylors. You couldn't do it. Yeah, man. As far as wrapping up the show, I just got to tell you, I enjoyed every second of hanging out with you. Doing the show on Sundays. I thought it was a lot of fun. I hate the fact that I can't do the homework to keep up with that. If that's all I did, I'd be fine with it. But man, but I will be glad to come over and spend some time with you there. I may not be able to stay the whole show, but I'll definitely come in and put in my 2 cents whenever you want me, man.
Oh yeah, you're always
I'm
welcome.
Not busy. Of course, if you do it in the afternoons on Sundays, write me off.
Oh yeah, no.
It's NFL season, baby.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying?
I know.
You know
Yeah,
what's up.
and I might. The only reason this is terrible. So if I get Nikki back on again, I'll have her make me a new one. Literally, the only reason I'm going to keep it at 11 Pacific is because of that promo she gave me, which I could not use it. You know what I mean?
You're right. It's a great one. She's fantastic, man.
Yeah,
She's fantastic.
but,
I
no,
love
but
Nikki to
same,
death. And by
same
the way,
for
the
you.
links are in the chat, guys. Her Twitter, her Facebook, and the link to that championship match. And she's got other ones on YouTube. Just search Nikki Victory the way it's spelled
Yeah.
there, and you'll
And
find
later
it.
when I update my description, I'll put the links in the description because I need to update my description anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, as far as I'd like to kind of say the same. It was always fun. Always had a blast with you, as people could tell from the video. We had
Always
good
had a good time
chemistry.
together.
Yeah. And but don't feel so bad because I had to step away for personal reasons as well. I'm just now at a point where I'm settled into my new place, and I'm currently winning the battle with my demons. I don't know if I'm going to win the war yet, but it's a daily struggle.
It's a daily the rest of your life, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I feel
we're all pulling for you. We all love you to death, and we want to see you succeed, bro. Always.
So that's why. But I'm at a place now where I feel more comfortable being able to commit to doing a show that I basically run and on my own, and hopefully with some guests in the future. So thank you, man. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no
thank
problem.
You, Ariel. Yeah,
it was
fun.
Yeah, Ariel, it was fun for us too. Believe me. I can't wait to make it out to Vegas and actually meet this guy one day, which is going to happen one of these days. My wife wants to see me get out there, and Das Wolven says, "Good to see the reunion." Yeah. Definitely. We've been talking to each other. It's just our schedules are not the same anymore, and we don't get to do this on a regular basis anymore. But yeah. I love seeing you, man, and I'm rooting for you, and I hope you're rooting for me in this comic book, because hopefully that'll be the way I get out to Vegas and see you. You know what I'm saying?
There you go, man.
Come
to one of these conventions. Yeah, sell some
books.
But
anyway, well, that's a wrap, I guess, for this Sunday edition of the Dork Side of the Ring. All in
special Friday edition,
special Friday edition, because it's usually on at 11 a.m. on Sundays. Is that on the beginning of that video? Is that the beginning of the video?
Yeah, it's the very beginning of the video.
Well, you know what? I'm going to show that on the way out. Then that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to show my little thing, and we'll be out of here. But listen, guys, I want to thank you guys all for being here. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on, if you know what I'm saying. Hang on a second. I'm almost ready. I promise. I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready. All right, Danny, I love you. We'll see you soon, man. Brother. Take care of yourself, okay? And you guys keep on keeping on. God bless.
This is Nikki Victory. Make sure to check out Dork Side of the Ring every Sunday at 11 Pacific.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Dork Side of the Ring. Joe and I have talked about this a lot. I had never seen 20